We are still waiting on the documents with respect to the torture allegations in Afghanistan, and I am hoping that they will be released because I think this is a very important issue. If our military has been complicit in torture, we should know about it, and I think it's outrageous and shameful that our Prime Minister prorogued Parliament instead of providing that information to the House. As part of our open government initiative, we are placing limits on the the Prime Minister's power of prorogation, so hopefully this will not happen again. As your Liberal candidate, I'm going to say no, we cannot trust the Stephen Harper government, and it certainly is not just Mr. Carson that we should be concerned about. We have a minister, Minister Oda, who was complicit in altering a document and then lied about it to Parliament with impunity. And it wasn't until the Speaker found the government in contempt for the first time in Western democratic history, never mind Canadian history, this is the first time this has happened in Western democratic history, that anything happened. So no, I do not trust this government. I also don't trust this government with spending on the correct priorities. Particularly, you look at the G8 and the G20 spending, there was a whole bunch of money pushed into Mr. Clement's riding, and he was able to sit around a table and divvy it up in the way that he sees fit. There is no accountability, there is no transparency, and enacting an accountability act that you don't follow doesn't really fit the bill. Thank you. The priorities we've identified, I think, are particularly relevant for Burlington, particularly with respect to the funding that we have for home care and for health care. Mr. Wallace spoke to the constitutional arrangement with respect to the funding from healthcare being provided by the federal government and trickling down to the provinces. And it's important, one of the things I've been hearing at the doors is that people are very concerned about the funding that we have for Joe Brant. It is a hospital that is very old. The people who work there do a phenomenal job with the resources that they have, but there's not enough there. We need to make sure that the province has enough money at their disposal so that they can prioritize this as a key issue for healthcare in the province. We've committed to increasing the amount that we are funding the provinces for healthcare by 6% when the accord is up for renegotiation in 2014. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again, and thank you to the Canadian Federation of University Women for allowing us this opportunity to speak to you. Again, this is a really important part of our democratic process, and I'm very encouraged that there are so many people who came out tonight to hear us speak. I'm here as the representative of the Liberal Party, and I'm here to provide you with an alternative to what we have seen in the past 5 years from Mr. Harper and the Conservative government. I'm deeply concerned at the tone of what we've seen from this government over the past 5 years. I hardly recognize what I see when I turn on the television and I look at what goes on in the House. I spent many years teaching university students about our political process, and it frustrates me to no end that everything that I taught them, it's so far it's operating in Parliament so differently than the way it's supposed to. And like I said, the tone is completely different. Question period is making us appear an international embarrassment, and I think that we can do a lot better both in Ottawa and right here in Burlington. I think we know that Mr. Harper's agenda focuses on jets, jails, and autocrats. One thing that we haven't talked about today is the $30 billion that the Conservatives want to spend on stealth fighter jets that are certainly not necessary for the military needs that we have. Military experts are coming out of the woodworks and saying that this is not the right equipment to do the job that we need. And in light of the fact that we are hoping to refocus our military on peacekeeping efforts, we certainly won't need them into the future as well. We would like to focus on early learning, home care, and seniors, and to provide a vision for this country, like I said earlier, that will bring us sustainably into the future by providing meaningful leadership on the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa.